restart the intro?
I have restart the intro. Really? Oh, okay. I was like, well, I forgot everything already. But yes, guys. So basically, I guess I'll do my first story. I don't know more or less. Do you guys know me from social media or social media?
Not just social media.
TikTok,
Yeah.
Facebook. Okay. Well, since you guys are familiar with that, I think my favorite story from the ones that I have covered recently is the Cortez Hotel. You guys remember that one? You went to that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, it stuck with me a lot only because I feel like it wasn't so negative. It was more of a positive story, I would say, in my eyes. So basically what happened, I have a friend that she works there currently. She still works there. And she was, gotcha. Just kidding. Say that for when they get scared.
I'm gonna bust out my equipment.
I know, like, that's funny.
Yeah, who's here?
So for that story, it's the Cortez Hotel. It's a beautiful old hotel. Now it is just office spaces. So this is why in West Lubbock, Texas. So that is why she has her office space in there. So one day, it's a Sunday, and she decides to go and clean up because she's barely going to start her business there. So what she does is she's cleaning up and moving stuff around, and in her office, the door's still open, so the hallway's there, and she sees a shadow pass by. And she had already heard rumors that it was haunted. So she's like, let me not think too much about it because I'm going to scare myself. Because she was alone, or so she thought at this point. So then she goes about her day, and then she's like, let me just go to the restroom, and then go to the restroom, wash my hands, and I'll get out of here. She goes to the restroom, and as soon as she's going to open the door, she bumps into a cleaning lady. And she goes, ay, me asustaste, you scared me. And the lady's like, pues, ¿por qué, mija? It's just me. I'm just here. I'm cleaning. And she's like, well, you should carry janitor keys with you so I can hear you come in. And she's like, pues, si me las dan, me las pongo. If they give them to me, I'll wear them. And so they have this long conversation. And then she goes, bueno, okay. Washes her hands and leaves for the day. A few days later, the lady, my friend, she goes and she's like, I need a cleaning lady. So let me go downstairs to ask for who was cleaning that day. So she goes downstairs and she's like, hi, like I'm searching for somebody to clean my office during the weekends. I know there was somebody here last Sunday. What's her name? She's like, we have this person and we have this person. She's like, okay, well, let me go talk to them because they were there. And so she goes and she looks at them and she's like, no, it wasn't those two people. So she goes back down to speak to the manager. She's like, no, it wasn't them. It was this lady. She was dressed in all black. She had a almost Victorian style outfit on. Her hair was slicked back in a bun, clean. And those two ladies were more modern looking. They just had like a short haircut. Nothing how I saw that day. And she goes, oh, okay. Then she must really like you. Because at that point, sorry, I got lost a little bit. She described the lady, right? And then she goes, yeah, I had a full conversation with her. And I saw her in person. And then the lady goes, oh, she must really like you. Because people have seen her now and then, but she does not speak to everybody. There's only been a couple times where she has actually said something to someone. And she's like, wait, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, she's a ghost. Like, she is not real. She's not a human being. So you cannot hire her. I'm sorry. But yeah, that story stuck with me it was a pretty good story for me. But yeah, that's it for that one.
Especially to hear conversation.
Exactly, yeah. Like in person, like if it was just me and you speaking, like normal. And then come to find out it wasn't a real person. And she says, whatever or whoever that was that day, I'm just glad that she was a nice spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
And to this day, she does say that her office has never been out of order. It's always been kept nice. there has been a few floods that happened in Westlaco, and there has been damage to the building. And her office is always clean; it has never been messed with. So she's there protecting her, and I think that's just beautiful. Yeah, but yeah, that's my story, guys. So I think that was enough time. Let me present our next presenter is, I think it was Lisa.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we got Miss Lisa and Darren with Lulu Paranormal Investigations. You want to present a story?
A couple of them.
A couple of them, yeah, for sure. If you
Do I
want to
come
come
up
up,
there?
yes, ma'am. So Miss Lisa and Darren, you guys want to give them a round of applause? So they can present their story?
Thank you. So I'm Lisa and this is Darren, and we are the owners and founders of Lulu Paranormal Investigations. Now, we did tours downtown Harlingen for the past 4 years. We no longer give the tours there, but we also had a building down there. So what I wanted to share with everybody is a few of the places that are very well known. You may not know them as what they were, but one of them was Thompson's Mortuary, which is right across the street. It's kind of
Nip and tuck.
yeah, from Nip Tuck, if you know where that is. Okay, it's at 205 West Jackson or East Jackson. Anyway, that was the very first funeral home and mortuary in Harlingen. Now, there, while we were doing our tours there, we had one of our tour guests tell us, "You told me that the building was empty, but who is that woman looking out the window?" This was like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
There was no one there. The store was closed down. But she described the woman, long brown hair, about 50, 60 years old, and she actually saw this woman looking out the window. So also, the Salvation Army. I know a lot of people go into the Salvation Army, have no idea, but who is inside the Salvation Army is Miss Susie. Back before all these buildings were there, Miss Susie actually lived there. And if you go into the Salvation Army, if you go all the way straight back, there's a staircase, and that is where Miss Susie is. So Miss Susie has been seen by numerous people. We've had sensitives go inside, and they saw her. Here's the thing that Miss Susie does. She doesn't do it every time, but we had so many tours that she did. She will shake the doors. If you ask her, sometimes she will. We have a video. We didn't realize we could bring the videos and stuff, but we have a video of her manifesting right in front of the door. Also, we went down because, again, you're not supposed to get attached to spirit, but I do. We went down this past April, May, took our bikes down, we sat down, we parked in front, and we wanted to talk to Miss Susie. I wanted to talk to Miss Susie because for 4 years, we went down there 3 times a week, and I would talk to her. Well, I wanted to tell her hello and make sure she was doing okay. His emergency lights back up. So we drive Rod Rikers, and you have to put them in reverse to back up. And it goes beep, beep, and the lights flash. The bike was off, and his lights.
Mine kept going off, so I turned the bike back on.
Yeah. Thought it was
Reset
a
everything, turn
malfunction.
it back off, put the parking brake back on, and then a few seconds later, it'd go back into reverse and start beeping and flashing again.
Yeah.
That did that 3 or 4 times, right?
So that kind of made me feel good that Miss Susie was there. Another place that you may not know, but it is super haunted, and you may want to go see. So when you're going down Commerce and Monroe, there's that little median. What you think is a median. It's not a median. It's a memorial park. So that is the Lawn Sea Hill or the Gordon Hill Memorial Park right there. It is very, very haunted. Just so you know, there were people hung on that piece of property. There were people tied to trees that died right there. And that is one very small but very haunted. I've got one more to tell you about. if y'all know where Luna Sky Lounge is, right across the street from Luna Sky Lounge, that's the building that we had last year. We were blessed that we were able to rent out that building for people to do paranormal investigations in. There is 4 spirits that reside in there. It's Mr. Reyes, who the owner of the building, Raymond, that was his father. He had a jewelry store there, and he is in there. He's been in there the whole time. People have seen him. He'll talk to you. We've had other investigative teams go in. People have been touched. People have gotten sick. 2 of the spirits that are in there, both were murdered on that property. And then we have a young lady that was murdered just behind where the spot used to be. And she's also in there. Across the street at Luna, there is the legend of the lady who danced with the devil, and that happened there at Luna. They'll show you the mural and tell you all about it. So I just wanted to give y'all some reason to go downtown. There's we did 9 different places downtown, so there's a lot more. I'd be happy to tell y'all about them if you want to know. But those were the ones that I really wanted to point out because, again, I did get attached with Mr. Reyes as well. So,
and I think he liked us too, because every day when we went to open the business for the weekend, there would be pennies or dimes in the back room.
Yeah.
On the floor.
And the people who rented it prior to us renting it was driven out. And when I say driven out, they had a CBD kind of tobacco business, and they had big glass counters in there. And the man had his counters knocked over and shattered so many times that he said he was done. He wasn't going to purchase anymore, and he moved out. We did not have that experience. We did have experiences in there, but they were all benevolent. Nothing malevolent happened to us. And we had a couple of, other investigators in there who also, are you going to tell that story, Alicia?
We can tell that one.
Yeah. And we were very blessed to have the Revenant Watch come in and do the investigation in there. And they've got a story to tell you about what happened when they left. Thank you, guys.
Probably have a lot of questions after that. I know we had
Thank you.
something. Give me 1 second. 5 minutes. Be right back.
I'm sure. You heard the story she told. The semi.
Yeah. Then I didn't have it was like, hey, I have something to tell you guys that happened to me.
Hi
I'm not gonna
everybody, if
tell
I
you
could just
yet.
get your
I'm still
attention real
processing
quick.
it. And I was like,
My name is Henry, Black Market Comics here, helping out with connections. We want to thank you for being here. I just wanted to take a moment just to remind you that there are concessions in the back. You got lemonade, nachos, all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks again for coming.
Were we supposed to ask questions? Maybe there's a key
We don't do questions.
Yeah.
no questions, please.
No questions. We charge.
$5 for a jewel.
Yeah, $5 a question. Like,
I just heard it. 45 minutes.
Did you guys want to play?
Okay. And do intermission.
Intermission? You guys feel free if you guys want to purchase anything or.
I wanted to ask you if you have questions. I didn't ask that.
Yeah, we want to do.
Do you think we should?
I was gonna see if it was a
Sorry, guys. Real quick, one thing I didn't do. Does anyone have any questions about any of the places that I spoke about?
You mentioned the Commerce in Monroe. Is that a park you mentioned, or?
Yeah, it looks like a median. So if you're turning to go to Grimsell's right there, it looks like a median. That's the Gordon Hill Park. It's a memorial park because Gordon Hill passed away in 1918 from the Spanish flu.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's just the story seems interesting because many years ago I used to work basically graveyard, the Calchasa area, and I was driving Well, it sounds like that place that you mentioned. Being completely honest, I happened to like run across something there that looked that normal. It must have. It was kind of like a good type of like human entity that looked like odd to me because first off, you know, they just look kind of pale, and it seemed like when they glanced at me, that they had like this makeup, like running down their actual face, but more like streams of it, like kind of like blackish. I was like, when you mentioned that story, I was like, whoa, you know, I don't know if that's coincidence or not, but I'm thinking that maybe it might be that same place that you're talking about. That's what I was asking, because I thought that maybe you were referencing to Lonsey Hill Park, but that's
No,
not
no. No, see, everyone thinks this is a median, and even people who grew up here. I love history, and so the thing is that Lonsey Hill had several children, but this one happened to be his son Gordon, and Gordon was 30. The Spanish flu hit. That also was the site of the very first courthouse, the jailhouse. You know, that's where they did all of their city hall business, and it was a very small wooden building. And that's why the trees, people were hung there, people were shot on the spot, people were tied to the trees to let, you know, the environment take its course. And when you said the running down, it made me think of sweat. Like someone had been sweating so badly that they were dripping, and we all know if you step outside for 10 minutes right now, we all look like that. So that's what it made me think of when you said.
But this was at like 2:45, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was cold out there, and although the entity that I saw looked human, to me it wasn't. It didn't make sense. It just seemed strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I think when I was growing up there in Arlington, I think now I know that place that you're talking about. I think they had a tree. They had like a tree in front of that building, right? That they say is a hanging. That was a hanging tree.
The only thing is those were not the hanging trees because those trees are not old enough to be the ones.
Okay.
What they did was, excuse me, when they built that median, they took everything out.
Oh, I see.
They replanted it. The only thing that's been standing since the 1920s is that flagpole.
Nice. So then, my thoughts lead to believe that entire area there, right? Like has an activity, not just that particular
Correct.
part.
The place across the street, it was a plumbing store across the street from there, had told me that they had to get a priest to come out and, you know, bless it multiple times. It was haunted. They asked me, please don't bring anyone, because we finally got it under control, and we never went there. But yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. You know, I just found it very interesting that you
Yeah.
mentioned that, because I feel that I ran across some paranormal in that spot.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Sorry, I just sat down. No more questions?
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
So then, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing all those stories. Next up, we do have Miss Jacqueline. She is from Bronzo. She's going to be presenting her personal paranormal encounter.
Yes.
So give it up for Jacqueline, guys.
Hi guys, I'm a little nervous, but I appreciate that we all, I'm sure, have the same love for the paranormal and the unknown. For me, this experience is one of many. I am what you call a sensitive person. I can recollect memories from my earliest years, and there's things that I just can't explain. Growing up, it just continued happening, and as a child, you don't know your difference. You don't know that what you're seeing and experiencing, no one else is experiencing. So for me, it was normal. Not until the questions started to come up of why do people walk through the walls, and where do they go? And why do I see these things that no one else sees? Why do I hear things that no one else hears? And so as a parent, you think that your child is, experiencing mental issues. And then you start thinking that you have mental issues. And it's not that way. Some of us are just connected with both sides of the world, of this universe, I would say. The story I'm here to share to you is one that I feel the most acknowledged because I was not alone. And a lot of these experiences that I went through, especially as a kid, I went through alone. And so you start to question yourself, what is real, what is not. But when someone is walking alongside you and they experience what you experience, there's no doubts. And even then, what we saw was making us question our own realities. But my story happened in Brownsville. I was born and raised in Brownsville, Texas. I'm not sure if those are familiar with Brownsville, but Brownsville has a park called Oliveta Park. Oliveta Park is right by the high school I used to attend, which is Pace High School. Normal neighborhood, typical day, around 8 at night. So not midnight, not witching hour, just regular afternoon, regular time. At the time I was a freshman, straight summer of freshman year is what I recall. I was around 15, which makes my brother about 10 years old. And my friend was about a year or two older than me. And my mother, as me being the older sister, asked me to go pick up my little brother from the park that is maybe about 2 blocks away. And so we did. And the three of us were walking down Viking Lane. Viking Lane, typical street in your typical, normal, low-income neighborhood, right? I wasn't the first one to acknowledge this. My little brother, having best eyesight, tells me there's someone on the tree. And I corrected him and said, you mean there's something in the tree? He said, no, there's someone up there. And so we got closer, and the moment I reached a certain distance, I could feel this entity's energy. And it was very human, physically, right? Does anyone know what burlap is? Burlap is potato sack material. Weeks before, I had been gardening and I had dug a piece of burlap. And I remember holding it, just thinking like, I felt a strange connection, which is not weird for me, but I couldn't comprehend it. So I put it aside, continued on with my day. Weeks later, when I'm experiencing this, that thought of that burlap came to me because there was a human cloaked in burlap. Not black, nothing fancy. Burlap as dirty and old as the one I had found and dug from my garden weeks before. So that was really strange. Until things got definitely paranormal. This person was, I am the tree, this is the branch. This person was on this branch, and they slowly went like this and started to levitate off the tree branch. And by that time, I had seen so much, but nothing like that. And we froze, the four of us, me, my little brother, my friend, and this entity in the tree. And we got closer because there was no fear at that moment. There was adrenaline. We got closer and this entity started to levitate, where I started to see distance from the branch and itself. And we were so close that within the next minute or two, we were right underneath this entity that was flying above us. And they were not high up in the sky. They were barely taking off from the branch. Being a child, I recall wanting to just like get a grasp of what that was, because it was so close. And at a point, I remember walking and looking up and then starting to like pick up on speed and pick up on height, to a point where we get to my neighbor's fence and this thing is flying above my neighbor's property, flying above my own home, the property after that, and then you could no longer see it. So it was gone because it took off with speed and height, and it just became a part of the night. Then that's where everything kind of like falls into place of like your thoughts, you know, like what did we just experience? And I remember running back home, the three of us getting there, speaking all at the same time, and my mom being overwhelmed. She's like, typical Mexican mom, which some of us may have. She's like, no, one at a time. And all you could hear was bruja, 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 bruja. We saw a bruja, you know? And me being like, I don't know what I saw. But it was definitely not human. Or not something that a typical human could do. And of course, Rudy, being the most coward of all, even though he was the oldest, he was like, you're gonna walk me back home. So I did. And the walk back, I remember seeking in the skies, you know, like searching for what I had seen. I went to sleep with that thought. Of course, my parents started speaking, neighbors started hearing, everyone wanted to know what I had experienced. 2 days later, again, walking back home. Days before, it had been raining a lot. So I heard a voice, but I could not distinguish it because it was not English or Spanish. And mind you, I have dealt with hearing voices that I can't find a physical form to. So kind of disregarded it, but my innocent boyfriend at the time was like, hell no, there's someone underneath that. And it was a rain drainage, right? So he's like, he didn't think nothing spooky. He thought it could be a dog, it could be a homeless person, someone down there. So I said, let me go check. Fearless, I go, and he pulls me. And he's like, no. He's like, nope. He's like, don't do that. So we got back home. I tried getting the flashlight. I wanted to go see. My parents say, no, let's call the cops. So cops arrive. They go. They're like, there's nothing in there, you know. And then my parents are like, tell them what you just saw a few days ago. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I'm gonna look crazy in front of the cops. And so I'm there, you know, I remember looking down, female cop, male cop. I'm explaining what I saw. And when I look up, they look at each other. They're like, we believe you. You're not the first one who has experienced something like that within the area. He's like, but you're the only one who, you know, had such a deep experience. Other people have seen things they shouldn't, very similar to what you're experiencing or what you saw. Mind blown. Within the next few days, I started experiencing knockings, something trying to open my window at night. It got so bad after so many months that they had to block my window with wood. And it did not help because I could still clearly hear and feel what was on the other side. And it visited me for a really long time. And I could feel it. And I feel like that connection has never gone away. And I've known of different moments where I experience me feeling or acknowledging that different things carry the same energy as what I had seen. For example, the day after I had gone to the resaca where we lost sight of this entity. And I'm very intuitive, is part of being sensitive. And I was with my older brother. He was like, we're gonna find something. I point, and I'm no bug expert, but there's a blue, bright as can be, caterpillar. And I told my brother, that's that. He's like, wait. He's like, caterpillars are not blue? At least not here in the valley. So I'm like, catch it. And we both jumped over this caterpillar. Caterpillars don't dig. This thing dug itself and disappeared. We dug about this much around what we had seen. Blue caterpillar, gone. And you may say, what does one thing have to do with the other? It's the energy, the calling I felt. And till this day, I search for blue caterpillars. And I've spoken to experts. They just don't have an explanation. And from my understanding, there's certain entities that, like nahuales, you know, that could transform from one form to the other, but always carrying the same energy. And it's followed me, and I've experienced it many different ways, but always knowing it's like I've learned to connect with this energy of, I don't know what it is. I've spoken to many people who are experts in not just paranormal, but witchcraft, you know, and different sorts and forms of magic. At 15, experiencing that, I wanted answers. So I started seeking them. And I learned and studied many different forms of the occult. Occultism is like language and like religion. Everywhere you go, a culture will have its own. And I have had the pleasure to experience meeting people that have bigger gifts, bigger powers, bigger connections than I do. And they can't explain what I witnessed. Some say it's a blessing to experience something that people can't put into words. I've asked scientists, I've asked occult people, I've asked priests, I've asked anyone and everyone I could think of, and no one has ever been able to give me a clear answer. Many do believe what I experienced was a bruja, but I believe that's just what our culture, that's what our culture is familiar with. But I cannot conclude that what I saw was a bruja. But it was definitely paranormal, not human. And for once, I experienced not alone. And that acknowledgement was very important for someone like me, because you get suppressed of your gifts or your powers or whatever you want to call it. I am now a mother of a beautiful 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old boy, and my daughter carries my gift. And that was the biggest acknowledgement for me, because once I saw my own child go through things that I would go through, see things I would see, hear things I would hear, I realized that there's nothing wrong with me, and that some of us are just more in tune with the other side. So don't ever question your experiences, because they're a gift. Even if it's a glimpse of the other side, it's a gift. It really is. And now throughout the years, I've never seeked it. I do some paranormal investigating, but it's really just to communicate. They have so much to say. So much to say. And if you're willing to hear, you will connect. So thank you for allowing me to share my experience. And if anyone has any similar experiences, I would love to hear and not be alone. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Jacqueline about her stories or anything? Just in the back.
You're saying that it was traveling up in the air, like it was flying?
Mm-hmm.
Did it have wings?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. A lot of people ask me, did you see wings? Did it transform into something? Did it have a broom? No. No. I've studied birds taking off in flight, and that's the closest thing I could think of. When a bird is ready to fly, it will bend, pick up, and of course, that did not need any of that. It was just a quick lowering itself and just taking off.
Because I met some gentlemen from Bronco who told me a similar story, but it happened to Paredes, brand new wine apartment. So he was thinking maybe it was some kind of cryptid, like hawk man.
I've been asked, this was human in a way. I didn't have to physically see a face to tell. I could tell when I'm experiencing a spirit. I could tell when I'm experiencing just a form of energy, because not only humans leave energy behind, homes, locations, they carry energy. And this was different. This was this was somewhere in between human and not human. Hmm.
Yeah.
Did it have a correlation with the
I don't know. I really don't know. People have asked me a lot. People have theories that I could have dug something. I don't think so. Honestly, that is way too big to have came out of a piece of burlap that I pulled from the ground. But I did feel a connection when I touched the burlap. And then it all kind of came to me when I saw. Because it's not something you none of us wear burlap.
Right.
It's not really a fabric to wear as clothing. I have been asked, like, was it a female? I'm usually really good in distinguishing male or female energy. I feel it in different parts of my body. Maternal, female, usually feel it within my womb. And males, I feel energy in my head. I can't tell. I couldn't. I feel like my memory wants to say that I could have seen hair coming off because it was caped, cloaked. Like I could not see a face. And I'm very thankful because I don't know what I would have seen. And it would probably been maybe not too much for me, but my brother and my friend Rudy never wanted to speak of it again. I did want to bring my little brother so he could be here, and he denied. And he's like, I refuse to even acknowledge that moment in my life, which is okay. Which is okay. A lot of people will turn their backs when they experience something that they shouldn't. And that's okay, because we all will react to it a different way. For me, it intrigued me for years, fascinated me, obsessed I became. And even then, I never found answers to my questions. But that keeps me going. And I hope to one day find an answer to why me, why. I had a shaman who, without me even sharing my experience, because I don't, honestly, I'm already weird as it is. I don't need to tell people really how weird I am, right? He told me that I have seen things I shouldn't, and that he could feel it. And he said to me, en tus ojos, in your eyes, you carry the energy of things that other people shouldn't have witnessed or experienced or felt. It's like, and I could feel it. It's like, I could feel it. It's like, and that moment did not feel comfortable with sharing. But just knowing that he could feel that within me, it was pretty cool. I was like, there's many people out there, and people. Weirdly, I always connect with people that carry gifts, or they're strange, or don't know. A man once told me that we're all connected, and there's people out there with even bigger gifts that I am so grateful I do not carry, because it could be overwhelming. Sometimes you just have to look the other way. But when you don't seek it, it finds you. And that's been my life. And I I don't share other moments because you probably would have a hard time comprehending. I mean, this one's pretty strange, but the acknowledgement that I wasn't alone. But they follow me, they follow my daughter, and I'm finally taking a step forward to study mediumship this fall after many years of people recommending me to just give in into my gift. And it's scary, but I feel like I am now willing to move forward with that and see where it will take me. So I will finally take a step forward with, I guess, that gift, and we shall see where it takes me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. All right, guys. Well, if you guys need to take a break or anything or get some snacks, can we give you guys 5 minutes before the next one? Yeah, you guys can prepare.
At the end, everybody just goes back to
I'm gonna step up. You want to step outside with me? While you're sitting up?
I'm okay. I'm gonna get out of this chair for a second.
You okay?
But it's been like that for. How much time do we have, Carla?
I think you have 30 minutes.
Okay.
It's till 7:30.
Okay.
Good time?
Huh?
That's a good time?
I think so. I just want to know because that way we're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time on some of the slides. We'll go over them, but not like. I mean, like the meet the team, that kind of info.
Yeah, wherever you want. You have till like 7:30, 7:45.
Okay. So we have.
8:30? Okay, cool.
I mean,
Still
we,
show.
for sure we can talk that long for sure.
Trust me, yeah.
Do we need to? What do we?
Yeah. I think you just need to plug it back in, right?
I think
Yeah,
it already is
I
plugged in.
have
I think we
that,
just need to
so-
move to the right channel.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that. You want me to put Eric?
And push.
I think it was on HDMI before.
HDMI plug?
Oh, maybe he had on first.
No.
Alright. I don't know what you want to talk about, what you want me to talk
Oh,
about.
okay.
Because I know last time I did most of it. Feel free. So I know last time I did most of it. Feel free. We just need to make sure we kind of keep an eye on time.
8:30.
Not 8:30.
You said the best one. I need my intro music.
Hold on, let me hit
Oh, this thing, look at this.
I know.
You wanted Bret the Hitman Hart, right?
Yeah, or Ric
Ric
Flair.
Flair.
I felt really close to my baby. Have you ever had like sleep paralysis? No. Okay. No. Okay. Well, my sleep paralysis is pretty crazy, but people like to say maybe it was just sleep paralysis. I was in bed, tired, finding baby.
This is my wife, Marty. She's the one that's scared. She's the one that doesn't want you going on an investigation.
So I got up, and the paralysis got hit. Physically.
This is Marty. This
And
is
so
Jerry's.
part of what I do.
Good to meet you.
right, guys. So now we have the Revenant. We have Revenant Watch Paranormal with us. They are Miss Alicia and Jerry. And take it away, guys. Give them a round of applause.
So, yeah, as you mentioned, we're with Revenant Watch Paranormal. We've been investigating the RGV since 2022. Actually, we were investigating a little bit before that. We were with another group, but then we kind of decided to form our own. So we have a little bit of a presentation for you. Some of the slides I'm not going to go really deep into so that we can get to the actual like pictures of where we've been and hopefully get to some of the video evidence that we have. So meet the team. This is Jerry. He's one of our co-founders. We also have my husband Robert, who's not here today, but he's also a co-founder. And then of course myself. And we have 3 more team members. We have Quez, he's our tech guy. Roy is an investigator in training, and Allison's an investigator in training. What we do is we allow people to train with us for as much as 3 to 4 months, or about 4 to 5 investigations, whichever comes first, because you never know in this field how much you're going to get at any given time. So they're still in training. They're really close, though, to fulfilling the full time. A little bit of the methodology. Methodology just means how we decide to select cases, how we do our interview and pre-investigation, our background research, what we do at the investigation, and during the investigation, tagging all of our evidence. I'm sure since everybody here is into the paranormal, you guys probably are familiar with this stuff, because that's what we all do in the field anyway. We also make sure to switch out our team groupings just so that we can make sure we can corroborate findings and experiences. After the investigation, listen, watch, and tag all the footage for anomalies, voices, shadows, etc., debunk if possible. We try to compile the evidence into a video or audio format to present to our client, so we always do a presentation to them afterwards. We save all our original and cut files for archive, and then we post, as authorized, to our various social media sites. So right now that would be, we mainly use Facebook, but we're trying to get our TikTok going again. We had an account, but that one, something happened to it, so we're trying to get that built back up. Tools of the trade, we didn't bring these with us today. We're hoping, though, that in the future, maybe we can do another similar like setup like this, and then we'll make it a little bit bigger and maybe do an investigation at that event as well. So some of the tools, though, include things like our video cameras, the EMF, or the thermal readings, the K2, and the EMF, which is the REM pod over there, which you guys have probably seen on all the videos. And one of the best pieces of equipment, one of the cheapest pieces of equipment, your digital recorder. You can even use your phone for those. Okay, so now to the investigation locations. This is one of the first ones that we did, which was the Santa Ana Cemetery and the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge in Alamo, Texas. If you guys have been there, you're probably familiar with the cemetery. It's kind of way back in the back off, really close to where the border is. And we tried to let us investigate at night, and they're like, no way. There's snakes, bobcats, people, all kinds of things in there at night, so they wouldn't let us. What was really interesting, though, is you're so far back in there, there's no electrical out here. Everything out here is just nature. So you can see we had a REM pod set up on the little plaque right there, and the REM pod was going off, and our K2 meters were reading. So we were getting electrical readings, but we don't know from what. So I don't think we got any voices out there really, but that was still interesting. It's a really beautiful place too, historical. So if you guys haven't been,
just don't go in the summer because it's hot. It's a long distance walk.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It is bad. We stopped multiple times, and that was my fault. This one, the old Mercedes Firehouse, this is one of our favorite locations. I know we had several things that have happened there. You want to tell about a couple of the stories that you have from there?
So on this one, this used to be the city hall. This used to be the firehouse. This also used to be the police station there in Mercedes. Now what they do, this pretty much they use it as storage. The firemen do. They have like some of their fire trucks down there in the garages. And then there's like even some stuff like from City Hall that they just left and stuff like that. Anyways, so the good thing about this, or the interesting thing about this, is that back here in the back part, you have the offices all lined up like this, a long hallway. And then up here on top is just an open area. really no offices, just a big old open floor, excuse me. What was interesting about this is that you have the jail cells that are down here.
They're behind the fire base.
Yeah, behind here. So, and it's kind of like in a horseshoe or a square U, whatever. The interesting thing about that there is that actually the team was at the female jail cell on one end, and I'm over here closer to the top, like where it actually starts becoming the U. And so the team is sitting down inside the jail cell, and we're asking questions, and we have the spirit box that's going off. You know, it's supposed to scan through frequencies or radio stations and stuff like that. So we're asking questions, and one of the questions that I asked was like, "Hey, you know, if anybody's here in jail, let me know, and I'll bail you out." So please make yourself known. You know, stuff like that. The one thing about us is that we don't try to like provoke anything, because rule of thumb, it could come back and haunt you, come back and get you. That's another story that I can get into that one later on. So anyways, the funny thing is, after I'm asking it, well, if anything's here, make your presence known. Well, my name comes through the box, and I hear it, and I look at her husband who has the spirit box, and I'm like, did that just say my name? He's like, yep, sure did. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, hey, I heard my name. I heard you say my name. Can you say it again, or can you tell me something, or do you really want me to bail you out? Like I'm over here reaching for my wallet. I'm like, come on, I can get some cash out and bail you out. So anyways, nothing really comes through, but what's weird is that you literally hear on the other side, you literally hear footsteps, heavy footsteps, but it sounds like as though they had like leather shoes, so you can actually hear them walking. And I look at that, and I look at her husband Robert, and I'm like, do you hear that? And he goes, footsteps? I'm like, yes. And I run over there trying to see if I can see anything. Obviously, I didn't. So that was interesting. The other one was me and one of the firemen, because we had two chaperone firemen that went with us. They, we couldn't go by ourselves. And this was our first investigation that we did there.
One, yeah.
We've been there, what, twice?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been there twice. The first time, I didn't have like a lot of equipment. To be honest with you, I had no equipment. So what I was actually doing is I was using my phone, the digital recorder on your phone. Everyone has one on your phone. Anyway, so me and one of the firemen, we take off. Well, I'm the type that where I kind of, our rule is don't leave the team. If you're going to go with somebody else. I don't listen to my own rule. I tend to, try to wander off by myself sometimes.
Always.
Sometimes.
Always.
And so I'm taking off, and or one of the firemen is like, hey, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to go downstairs, down to the hall, where the city hall was, where all the offices were. I said, I'm going to go do an ABP session. And he goes, well, I'll join you. Okay. He was a skeptic. The other gentleman was not a skeptic. He had experiences and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm there. We're in the middle of the hallway. I'm asking questions. And maybe 10 minutes of questions and stuff like that. And complete darkness, like no light whatsoever. You can't even see your hand in front of you. So I'm there, sitting there, asking questions. And finally, I turn on my light, and so I'm checking my phone, and I can't remember what question that I asked, but I get a clear response back, and I look at the fireman. I was like, "Did you hear that? Do you hear that?" He goes, "I hear it, but is that not you?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Is that you?" He goes, "Well, I didn't say anything the whole time. I was just here, standing here." I'm like, well, that's not me. That's not my voice. He goes, well, yeah, I kind of noticed it's not your voice. And I'm like, wow. I was like, I caught something. So, I run up to the top where the rest of the team is. I'm like, we caught something. Check this out. Clear as day, like, clear. I can't remember what it was that actually the response was, but it was like amazing, because that was our first investigation. I had no equipment, special equipment or anything like that. Again, like I said, I was just using my phone, and we were able to capture that voice that came through. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
So yeah, that one. This place has both times given us a lot of evidence. So we hope to be able to go back there soon.
Oh, it's still standing?
Yes, still standing. Yeah. I do have someone with some access to that.
So this one is a podcast studio in Weslaco. This was
at the Cortez.
Yeah. No, this was
Cortez.
across this was like across the street. This one we were sharing the space. We were actually helping rent the space because we were doing a podcast at the time as well. And so the gentlemen that were there, they had experienced a few things. So we just included a couple of pictures here. The one that you see on the right, that is us using some of the equipment. So we try to use as much of the equipment at the same time as possible to corroborate evidence. So that's us with a laser grid. And then you can see Jerry on the stairs with the spirit box. We have a REM pod that's further down. So we're using all kinds of different things to try and get, if we get something on one, we're hoping it comes out on the other as well. So that you can get more at the same time.
And they don't interact with each other?
If you have them far enough apart, they usually don't. The K2s and the EMF, because they're reading the same thing, might. So those you kind of have to keep apart. Everything else, pretty much, you can use it together. Yeah. It's not a big difference. The only thing I will say, especially for when you're watching like YouTubes and TikToks and everything, people who are they have a K2 in one hand and they have their phone in the other hand.
Oh.
If they're holding the K2 and they're with their phone and all of a sudden the K2 like spikes all the way to red, guess what that is? That's your phone. So just be a little wary if you see that, or if you're ever doing an investigation and because we do it too. We get so excited that we're like, oh my gosh, and then we're like, oh wait, okay, never mind. Yeah, so those can be false positives, so just be careful with those. Of course, everybody I'm sure recognizes the San Juan Hotel. We've been there twice. It is a very interesting building. We have had some evidence that came through there, some voices and different things like that. Shadow. The one bad thing about this location is you can see now it looks even worse. But all of these windows and stuff, a lot of it's broken out. So when you try to investigate there, I live in San Juan. I live maybe like 4 minutes from here. This street is always busy. I don't care what hour of the night it is. It's cars up and down, up and down. So if you're in the building, you're going to get all that contamination.
Plus, you have a bar across the street, catty corner over there. So it was kind of hard.
And then you also run the risk of vagrants that are in the hotel. So that can be a problem too. The first time, interesting story, when we investigated, the first time we had permission, because that's when the lawyer who used to own the property, he had given us permission to be there. So we're like, okay, cool, this is great. Never once did it occur to us to let PD know we were there.
Oh.
So we're up on the second floor investigating. All of a sudden, we 3 cars from different locations, like lights and everything, come up on us, and they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you here?" And we're like, "We have permission." And they're like, "Well, prove it." So we had to show them where the guy had told us, whatever. So then, of course, the second time we went. First call, PD, we're like, hey, we're coming back, guys. And they're like, okay, cool. We'll actually be there. We'll come and see you guys for a few minutes. And we had a couple of cops that came and hung out. So
interesting story about this one here. My experience as far as this goes. First time that we did an investigation. So over here on this side, you got pretty much a parking lot, and you got some businesses over here that are actually active. I think there was a tattoo shop, and there's a barber shop as well. And a floral shop. So anyways, I'm usually the one to get to the location because I'm excited. I wanted to take pictures and do everything and stuff like that. So I get to the place, I park over here on the side, and I open my door and I see a tennis ball on the floor. Regular tennis ball, nothing special. It was yellow, whatever, tennis ball. And I'm like, oh, cool, look, I'm going to get this tennis ball. I'm going to use it like a trigger object. Trigger object, what I meant by that is, you try to use it and ask the spirit or ask whatever, okay, can you move this ball? Can you do this? Whatever the case may be. So the San Juan Hotel actually has a basement. We were down there. And what I did is I drew a circle, I put an X in the circle in the middle, and I put the ball there in the middle. Long story short, nothing ever happened. The ball didn't move, but I was taking pictures, and there's a shadow that appears over here. Out of all the pictures that I took, there was a shadow that was just right here that I couldn't explain. So that was weird. I'm not going to say it was paranormal. It was just weird. So anyways, I go home. I take the tennis ball with me and stuff like that. And I'm telling my wife, oh, because she's waiting for me. She's like, so how'd it go? And I'm like, oh, this happened. I found a tennis ball and I'm using it for a trigger object. She's like, why would you bring it home? I'm like, well, it wasn't on the property. It wasn't on the property. So, it was in the parking lot, like over here on the side, like with the other businesses. She's like, no, why would you bring it home? I was like, are you not listening to me? It wasn't in the property. It wasn't. So anyways, we're going back and forth. She's telling me, you need to get rid of it. I was like, no, I'm not going to get rid of it. I want to use it as a trigger object. So I have the habit of closing my door and I lock it. I'm like, if somebody's going to break in, it's going to be time, I'm going to have time to do stuff, whatever, or get whatever I need to do to defend ourselves. Anyways, so we're sitting on my bed, we're talking. She's telling me to throw the ball. I'm telling her no. She's, so anyways, all of a sudden my smoke alarms go off. Like all of them, not just one, like all of them. And I look at her and she's like, throw that goddamn ball away now. And I'm like, okay. So as soon as I get off the bed and I'm reaching for the door, my smoke alarms go off. And I look at her again and she's like, now, I'm not playing with you. I'm like, there's got to be an explanation. So I'm looking, I'm like, maybe she left something in the oven, maybe she left something on the stove, whatever. I'm trying to just blow it off. And I'm excited at the same time too, So anyways, I'm looking, there's nothing abnormal, nothing in the oven, nothing on the stove, nothing's burning. So in that time, while I was living in McAllen, I lived in a dead end. Just across the fence, there's like open field. So I'm like, well, this is a good place as any. So I just threw the ball over and stuff. But yeah, that was my weird experience that night as far as that goes. So rule of thumb, don't take anything, even if it's in the parking lot. Don't take anything from the location.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time we did this presentation, oddly enough, at a bookstore in Mission, like 2-3 weeks ago. And I kid you not, almost to the exact same slide. It did the same, yeah. So.
Did you throw it?
Yes,
You better not have that tennis ball.
Yeah.
Like blink, blink, yeah, threw it away.
Right.
The Cortez. So we have a friend that has a podcast there, Chew a New Podcast.
Yeah, Mark.
So Mark, that's a good buddy of ours and stuff like that. We actually were also renting out or helping him rent out that space as well. We were using it for our office, or we were doing our podcast as well too. Weird thing about this one, other than Karlas stories and stuff like that, was that in that office, Mr. Mark had a camera that was facing the door, and they captured like a shadow of a little girl at the door, clear as day, looks like a little girl. But yeah, it's weird as far as that goes. We were doing an EVP session, me and the tech guy and his brother Mark, and we were in the hallway and I'm talking. I think I had some device, I can't remember what it was, so I'm like asking, if there's anything here, please make your presence known, knock, do something, whatever the case may be. And we're sitting, me and Eric is here, we're sitting on a little small like love seat couch, and then his brother is on a chair, and over here on this side is the offices that are there. And so I'm asking questions. If there's anything here, make your presence known, please. Like knock, do something. Well, long and behold, after that, you hear a knock at the end. Well, Eric, he's like the Scooby-Doo of our group. He's like, he hears something and he tries to take off. He tries to run. So I get up and I'm like, where are you going? And I grab him. I'm like, dude, go towards it, not away from it. So, and I'm that type where I get excited whenever something happens and I go towards it. I don't run away from it. My wife says, one of these days, just watch. Something's going to come out. And you're going to get scared. I was like, I don't think so, but we'll see. But yeah, like I go over there and I'm trying to investigate where it's at, where that noise came from. and I'm still asking questions and stuff like that. But yeah, there's been some pretty interesting things there as far as that goes.
Did y'all encounter the
Lady, the maid,
the
no,
environment? No.
no.
No, I think the only one that we've encountered that's there is if there is a small child there. I think
Oh,
that's the one that we've.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save questions for the end.
The board house over there in Rio Grande City. Pretty famous. I think maybe everybody knows about it. Interesting place to say the least. You got a lot of rooms there. If you don't know about the story, and I won't take up too much time, but if you don't know about it, look it up. There's a lot of history there. There were some tunnels and stuff like that. Supposedly, it would go from different places. Long story short, Mr. Laborde, his daughter, wind up supposedly killing herself because she was in love with somebody from the army. The army left her because he was going back home to his wife, and supposedly she killed herself. There's been other things as far as like children that supposedly they fell off the balcony. So long story short, some pretty interesting things there that have happened to us. I don't know, like there's like this
there was a red light that we got.
Oh, yes.
So up on the second floor. So you've got the infamous red room is over here on this side.
which
And
I
then-
stayed in.
Yeah, and then there's another room that's right here that's not connected. But if you go through this door right here, there's the hallway, and then there's rooms on either side. So this is just an exit door. So there is an exit sign up here. We had a camera on the inside pointing out toward the outside, and there was like this little, almost like a pin light, a red light, that we could not figure out where it came from. We went outside, we went all around the building, we looked at all the lights that are outside, the street lights, everything. Couldn't find anything. So there was like, that was really weird.
Yeah.
And then you had the whisper or whatever
Yeah,
in that
so-
same hallway.
Right, we're upstairs. Me and the tech guy Eric or Quez. I'm the last one. He's in front, and the stairway is over here on the left. And he's, I don't know, good distance from me, and we're walking. I'm with my camera, and all of a sudden you hear it was like a deep sigh. I'm not gonna say it was a growl, but it was like, and I'm like, Eric, was that you? He goes, no, dude. He goes, I thought that was you. I'm like, dude, no. Like, seriously, like, stop playing around. Was that you? He goes, no. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I thought it was you. So that was pretty interesting. I was able to capture it on camera. I have this sensor that I call it my dog sensor that we had on the hallway. So the rest of the team was over here in this room, right over here, and me and tech guy, we were at the end of the hallway in another room. We had the doors closed, and for some reason the alarm was going off, or my dog bark was going off. My dog sensor, should I say, was going off. So I'm like, I open the door and I'm peeking, and I'm like, well, somebody's out there. Somebody's making my sensor go off. And I'm like yelling. I'm like, hey, I was like, is somebody going in front of the sensor? I was like, because you're making it go off. And Alicia or Robert, somebody was like, no, like we're sitting in
Yeah.
here.
We're
Like,
not even out there. We're in
we're
the
not-
room
yeah.
behind a closed door.
So like that was weird. Just because we go or we have experiences, we're not going to say that a place is haunted. Is there activity? Yes, there's activity that some locations that we've gone to, but we're not going to straight out say, oh, it's haunted, because
Unless we go a bunch of times.
yeah,
and we get,
unless
like,
we
over and
actually-
over.
if we see an apparition and stuff like that, and some weird
Yeah.
things are actually happening, then let's you know what? Let's bump it up to the next level and say it's haunted.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we do try to
Yeah.
to debunk first. The other thing about this one, because since it is a bunch of rooms and you do have to rent out the room to be able to stay there, right? So, in the interest of everybody in here, should anybody ever want to like put a group together and go and like do an overnight there, I think that would be an awesome idea, and we could all like
We'll do
get that to work.
We'll do it again.
So yeah, because that place is really cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to convince my wife, but she doesn't want to.
It's a very pretty hotel.
Yeah, very
It
pretty.
is, it is,
very pretty. Yeah. So this next location here, we can't actually disclose the actual location where this is at. All we can say is that it's a school somewhere here in the valley. That's all we can say. So we've been to this location twice, hoping to go out there again, maybe the third time before the end is the year is over, maybe, or by the beginning of the year. Anyways, so this was 2023. These two right here. So here I'm actually standing outside and I'm taking photos. Rule of thumb, 3 photos or 2 photos and then move on. 2 photos of the same location, move on. 3 photos of the same location, move on. You know, and when I mean move on, it's like go a different way and stuff and take some more photos and move around and take more photos. So here, I don't know if y'all can see over there, but here, this is just an open window here. Right here, if you see like some difference here, there's like a mesh, like a screen that's here. That's why it looks a little bit different. So over here, I take photos. There's nothing that's showing up here. On the next couple of photos, again, I'm just taking photos. I'm not looking through it or anything like that. It wasn't until we actually took a break that I'm looking through, and lo and behold, something pops up. And I'm looking and I'm like, holy crap, we got something. But before I say anything, I'm like, hey, take a look at this. Let me see what, let me know what y'all see. And they're like, yeah, you got something. So to me, it looks like it's actually a lady with a white top and it has a dress. And then it has possibly shoulder length hair. So yeah, that's on that one. That was back in 2023. 2024, we go back again. First thing that I do, I'm like, let me take pictures again. Let me see if it appears again. And lo and behold, it comes out again. Thing about this one, it looks like if it's barely starting to form, like it's barely starting to manifest and stuff like that compared to this one over here. Right here, it kind of looks like as though the lady's like this with her arms crossed. So that was interesting.
Yeah, these photos as well. Like we heard rumors of some of the stories of this location. Of course, we were like, they're rumors at that point. We don't know. Before we even had looked at these, that night, the first stay, we had a security guard who came, the lady security guard that came. And of course, she was telling us all about everything that's happened while she's been working there. And she's one of the only ones that will work there. The guys that are security guards won't cover the area. So she's the one who ends up doing it. So she's like, oh yeah, I see stuff all the time. And she was telling us, so the stories that she told us without us telling her about this, without us even knowing we had these photos, after looking at everything, it does corroborate. So, yeah.
Interesting place or thing here as well. We're actually upstairs in one of the buildings. And I have my camera here. And we're sitting in this room, and there's like windows all against, on this side. And I have 2 teammates that are sitting near the window, but sitting down. And then I have another teammate that's sitting across from those 2 down on the middle of the floor. And then I have one teammate that's on the other side of the camera. So what's interesting about that one on that video is that you see a shadow that just comes towards like where we're at, like me and that other teammate. But what's interesting is like, okay, we got to debunk it. We got to try to see if we can debunk it. But what's interesting is that you have the light, you have the window, and it's actually blocking light from where the window is, where the window panes are and stuff like that. It's blocking light from the inside. Because we're like, if it was from the outside, well, you would be able to see the window panes, and well, not the panes, but the in between the windows and stuff like that, and where the paint is and stuff like that. You would be able to see still that. But on this one, you actually see like the shadow. That it seems like it's inside and it's blocking the light, and that was like amazing as far as that goes. Because obviously we had to slow down the video, and you see it. where it's going and it's blocking light and stuff like that. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not gonna disclose the location, but if I'm not mistaken, I used to work there.
Really?
Yeah, I
We-
used to work there.
We need to talk later.
And that building, the nurse's office is underneath it. And she would tell me every night she'd put the wheelchair in the bathroom and close the door. Every morning it would be open and the wheelchair rolled. And the building across from it, the custodians would tell me, the one that would come in, the head custodian, she said, I can hear the gate opening. The gate opens. She says, I'm here by 5:30. At 6 a.m., you hear the gate opening because it would spray. But the gate wasn't open. You would hear it. Another custodian told me, they would tell me when you're upstairs on the second floor and you're going to clean, you hear footsteps coming up behind you like they're running behind you. And then another one told me, she would say, se mueven los papeles, Miss G. The papers are moving. And I said, what do you mean? She says, when I'm cleaning and I'm bent over, I feel the air blowing on my neck and all the papers move where somebody's blowing the papers. So there was a lot of stuff.
It sounds like it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is very interesting to say the least. I mean, we've had several other experiences there. There's an auditorium. Alicia was able to experience stuff.
Yeah, there's an auditorium where we were in the little vestibule kind of area outside of the auditorium, and we're just sitting there kind of taking a break. We had just done an EVP session, and all of a sudden we heard something like a bang or something, or like sounded like somebody ran across the stage in the actual auditorium. So of course we like open the doors, go in there, whatever. So we're like, okay, well no, they couldn't have been the stage because that's too far. So then we go up to where like kind of like the catwalk is, where they do all the stage lighting and everything up there. And it was our tech guy Quez. He's the one who went up there and checked the area, and he's like, "This wood is the floor is actually wood floor." He's like, "So that's what we heard, somebody running on a wood floor," and he was like freaking out. And it's like, yeah. So that was amazing.
There's a locker rooms as well, girls' locker room, I believe. We had a pretty unique experience there. We're doing an EVP session.
Yeah.
Or actually it was a camera, and you literally hear like, what was it, like a
kind of sounds like a growl.
I hate saying it, but you kind of hear like a growl, and you know, things that we weren't able to hear with our own ears, but we were able to pick it up on the camera, or it's just, it's amazing to me how
there's
how it is.
There's another building there that houses the like restrooms, like boys and girls restrooms, and we left a camera running there. And so because that's a building by itself, this place has multiple buildings. So we were way over here, like where the auditorium and all that stuff are. The bathrooms are over here on this side. We left a camera running in there all night. Going over that footage was like crazy because it's like thing after thing after thing after thing, and it's mostly like residual. It sounds like the water's running. It sounds like there's talking in there. It sounds like somebody banging a door.
Yeah.
It's
You
just,
know, it used to be military barracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a hospital.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually, on that video of that restroom, you can literally hear conversations going. You can't make out what they're saying, but you hear talking. And we're like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, seriously.
it's like, how do we tag this? It's like the whole video is like, like 3 hours of like.
And it's just, I don't know. It's that excites me. My wife, on the other thing, thinks I'm crazy, but again, it's just, that is exciting to me. I think Alicia is the same way.
Yeah.
And Robert, is the same way. But, I mean, it's just really, really amazing place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty close to time. So I don't know if do we want to wrap there or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because we have 3 videos, but they're
Go to the interesting one.
Yeah.
Which one? The trailer.
Yeah,
one?
the trailer.
Okay. Let me.
So on this other one that we're going to show you a video. I was disappointed because we're at this place. It was a trailer home. It was in North Donna.
All right, tell me when you're ready.
And okay, we're in North Donna is where this trailer home is. There was a murder-suicide there. The people that were living there, the wife was experiencing things. She was hearing stuff, talking. She was hearing footsteps and stuff like that. They only lasted there for like maybe about 3 months. And the wife was like, I'm done. We got to go. break the contract. We're leaving. I don't want to be here anymore. So we asked the landlord to see if it was okay if we can do an investigation. At first, the landlord was, yeah, go ahead. Y'all can. So we got there. We were there tops. At that location, we were there about 20 to 25 minutes there. This video, we only got 6 minutes of video before the landlord said, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want you to be there. Y'all need to pack up. Y'all need to leave. Boy, I was pissed.
Yeah.
So 6 minutes of video, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just look to see what we got. You know, who knows? I can tell you right now, this is my best investigation that I've been at, and it was only 6 minutes as far as like evidence that we were able to catch. Now, this video, what we've done, we enhanced the audio so we can try to, you know, so y'all can hear it. And we added words what we think that we hear. So, yeah, we'll play it next and see.
But other than that, it's uncut.
Yeah, it's uncut.
Can you guys see without a glare?
Turn it off. Turn off the lights. Let's go. Movie time.
Lights
Popcorn.
off.
Right?
Lights off.
Let me see it. I've seen this.
Can we
one
turn
go
off the
happen.
lights?
Yeah, it's. I think you probably have.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry for the language, by the way.
I've heard worse.
These are YouTube captions, not ours. Those are our words.
Yeah. What do you feel? That was the bedroom?
Yeah, but the living room was like, that just like you said, like straight.
Yeah, this part right here.
So like part of your body is, you know what I'm saying? Again, I feel like very happy.
Like, over here, bro, this is where it tightens up. Down here. Over here, it feels like I feel calm over here.
It's probably the kitchen.
I don't know. You heard that, huh? I heard that somebody was moving over there. Somebody moved over there. I think that was me. Good.
You
And that's all from outside. You're gonna try it? Yeah. What's the ghost in with that? It's a voice box or other ghosts in, whatever. Yeah, Karlas, you got it? Yeah, she has it. Okay. Right now, my camera just focused and unfocused. Dude, it's unfocusing and focusing. You seen that? Look. Look, look. Look at my camera. Look at my camera. Hugh? See how my camera's not doing it no more.
I seriously feel like I see something fall, something. Psychic.
There's no psychics here.
You don't have that one. There's also those two. There you go.
Bro, there it is again. Something's passing that my phone is focusing, bro. I already know.
So what's weird about that is that where it shows that gunshot, I'm putting my device down on the floor in the back bedroom, and Eric and his friend are standing at the doorway. And that's where he asked, "Is that you?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm telling him that I was going to put something down. We literally did not hear that gunshot or that noise, or else we would have said, "Oh, that's me," or "Oh, that was this," or whatever the case may be. We're good about trying to tag videos or digital cameras or not digital cameras, but digital recorders. If whenever there's movement, we're good about that. And be like, "Oh, Alicia got up; she's moving." That way, there's no confusion as far as like if you actually hear something. Well, it's not. It's one of us that's moving around, or we made a noise, or we hit something, or we knocked over something, or some people get hit their head on a beam. But yeah, anyways, that we didn't hear any gunshot as far as that or that noise of that gunshot. And what's weird is that me and that guy Eric were reviewing the video, and we're like, "What is that? Like, what is that noise?" So it wasn't until we called up Robert and Alicia. I was like, "Hey, y'all need to come check this out. We're getting voices." And so they go over there and they're looking at the video, and
We didn't know the backstory of the place either.
that's right. They didn't know really exactly what had happened. We just told them listen to it and check it out. And Robert's like, "That's a gunshot." And then me and Eric look at each other and we're like, "Duh!" Like, yeah, that's what it is. So that's when we start telling them there was a murder suicide. The wife got murdered in the back room, whatever. And the guy winds up shooting himself, but he didn't die at the trailer home. He died on his way over there or at the hospital. So, but yeah, it was interesting. Any questions? Yeah.
Got a question. I did without you. That's why I was like, wait, hold. I pick up a female in distress. Very dominating male. A lot of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And I knew it was gonna be a murder suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel it. As a victim of domestic violence, I feel for her.
Yeah.
She just wanted to be heard.
Yeah, and that's what we think
Absolutely.
too. Because there's on the video there's somewhere it says help me up now. So we were thinking, poor lady, she was shot and she was trying to get up, whatever the case would be. So that's what we're thinking, that we're capturing her talking, and then some of the like male voices that you hear, we're thinking maybe it's the guy. I mean, I don't know, but it's by far the best video
It's
evidence that
for
we've
us.
got.
It's just crazy because, like I said, it's uncut in that it's just continual video. The only thing we did was loop it just so that when the word plays, then you guys hear it again, like what people normally do for these types of videos. But other than that, it's continual video. We didn't go and splice anything, and
It's unedited, other than raising up the volume and adding words on there, what we think we hear. Y'all can go on YouTube. Y'all can look at this video. We recommend putting it on headphones, and y'all can hear the words a little bit clearer and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's it. I know we took up a lot of time. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
it's perfect. Perfect. Anybody else have questions? No? All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. I'm here till next week.
All right. You're all
Oh,
week.
we done.
Yeah, all right after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, hi everybody. Henry again. We want to thank everybody for being out here. At any point, we're always open 10 to basically 8 every night, except for on Sundays. We encourage you to come out, bring your kids, bring your family, video games, board game library behind this curtain, all kinds of arts and crafts and classes of all kinds. Tomorrow we have a Spider-Man event we'd like to invite you to all day until 6 p.m. We're going to be watching movies, playing loteria, all kinds of cool stuff. Right. So we wanted, on behalf of Connection, we want to thank you. We want to thank Carly here for putting everything together, hosting such an awesome panel. Thank you, panelists, as well. And of course, thank you guys for being here. We hope to see you again.
Thank you.
And then if you guys came for like the paranormal investigators, or for me too, if you guys wanted to talk and mingle with us for the last 20 minutes, if you guys wanted to take pictures too.
Yeah, we have. I don't know if you have any cards. I think I might have cards.
I forgot.
You guys can check us out on Facebook. You can always send us a direct message on Facebook. Yeah. Just look up Revenant Watch Paranormal.
And you can no longer find us, right?
Well,
I think yours is still on there. It's just not like all your stuff from before, right?
Really?
Like your archive stuff.
We
on YouTube, or not YouTube, but
Facebook.
yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Really? Yeah. Because I was the blog.
I recorded.
One thing that and at first people wouldn't believe me, I always see this like board, and I would always try to catch it, and it's hard, and that's where I feel there's like some kind of intelligence, because it knows, and I've had other people catch pictures, and I'm like, holy shit, that board really speaks up.
Yeah, I just need to get put the backpack over there, right?
And,
Oh,
I just need to put stuff in there. But don't worry about it. I can do it
right
in
now,
a few
with
minutes.
that video, the energy was really heavy. There was when the energy was heavy like that, like visions come to me, and I knew right away.
I wanted to see what y'all think. It's not local, but my sister, she grew up here, but she lives in New Caney now. It's like north of Houston. And she sent this to me a few months ago. She was driving with my nephew in the back, and she has a dash cam video. And I don't know if it's a person or something, but while did she say it?
That interaction there, she's just trying to explain what she went through, and a lot of people who die in tragic ways like that are stuck reliving that.
And mind you, it's a busy street, right? So they never flinched or they never moved. She did say that when she looked at it, it turned its head, but she couldn't see like I know the quality is not the best, but like it was like a silhouette more weird, like a distinguished like so watch them all.
You see where it kind of moves.
Yeah, it
but you could see the wind blowing there.
yeah.
You know,
That's right, but you see where she actually moves, where it moves.
yeah. So
That is
I know it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I just thought that I wanted somebody else to see it. I don't know if you wanted to. She was driving.
It was very
It was her dash.
And I sent Carla a message and said,
Very, very nice video you guys captured.
I don't know if they're
it was
hoping
just
like.
an
I almost went to because
You
I
should.
like to.
It was on the 4th.
And what I do is I go, I send, communicate, and then I investigate in regards to who it could be, where that. And so I was like, right away, I was like, domestic violence. I was like, that did not end well. Do you guys seek places or do people or places come to you?
We've had some, yeah, we've had both. But yeah, we do see places, but we've actually had people, because we've done presentations at libraries through the county. We've done presentations in Edinburgh.
Well, I think I don't know. This is
Where else? In Rio Grande City, Mission. So we're getting out there. People that come, they see and they reach out to us. So we've got some places, recommendations, homes from some of the people that show up.
But it was just because she grew up here, but she did.
So yeah, and then obviously we go out and we try to find one of his coworkers reached out to me, telling me about
She was just very
Oh, yeah?
right? 'Cause
So
she had like
she goes, yeah, I got a buddy that he's got access, whatever, and he can get us there. We want to do everything. He goes, we mailed it. That's what
Like
we
it wasn't like they were on the
But
sidewalk.
we want get paranormal investigating out there because we've heard cannons, we've heard like horses and stuff like that. So hopefully here soon or something, we'll try to be out there and stuff like that. And do something like that. Or else we'll be invited to.
Definitely do a second
We
meeting.
did
That
the
was
museum.
Have you guys ever gone to the Paranormal Fest in San Antonio?
No, we
I missed it by one day.
And so
I'm going to 19.
you should go out there.
I
I
did it at the Victoria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I missed it one day.
My respect to
Um,
yeah. In the daytime, everybody's
I was out there for just vending. I work with stained glass, so like I'm gonna be out there vending like spooky stained glass. But it's definitely like a really nice event to be a part of. A lot of people that have common, you know.
Right.
So it's definitely, I think it's really, and they're always picking up like any like speakers or participants. So yeah, and they're awesome. I believe it's the Grimm sisters. Yeah, they're super chill. I've met them like 2 Paranormal Fest ago, and they were like, please, but it is a larger crowd, so I was like, oh, I'm not, I can't, I was like, I will be overwhelmed, but like, this is perfect. And honestly, I don't think I had ever shared
But it's just
outside of just like people that are close to me, and it was easier than that because it's like I felt like those like walking to standing than like oh my god
Right, yeah, no, exactly. No, and I can completely sympathize with what you're saying because I was
Off the street real quick.
and I've like had tons of experiences when I was a kid.